Kaiser, I just got back in town and I heard there was a Dragon Ball that happened, like a lot of it. Like there's stuff going on for a big anniversary of some such.
Approximately 3 Dragon Balls happened.
3 Dragon Balls? That's almost half the set.
Although if you think about it, it's more like 2.5.
Well, that's slightly less than half a set.
Yeah. Like I mean, 3 is slightly less than half the set.
Yeah, but it's even slightly lesser if you take half of one away. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's just math. I can do that.
So Genki Damatsuri happened, which is an event in Japan. Oh yeah, it's one hell of a pun. And it happened in Japan, which it would. And it was a several hour long event where they kind of just packed a bunch of announcements up at the front and then featured a bunch of game stuff afterward. I won't lie, I did kind of zone out after those initial announcements because a lot of the game stuff after is kind of, they actually have a huge gameplay, like a gaming event coming up in April. So anybody who
like
really
to go over the Sparking Zero, like I heard there was like DLC for Sparking Zero coming up, or like a big update.
We're getting a couple updates from them. We're getting King Piccolo, which, you know, that's cool. We're getting Champa. We're apparently getting Devilman, or Devil Guy, or whatever his name is. So yeah, we're getting a bunch of like more obscure characters, more Dragon Ball characters.
Really embracing their Tenkaichi roots.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, why wouldn't you at this point?
Yeah.
You've already released most. Honestly, the amount of characters that came out in the base game is insane. So yeah, if you're gonna do a bunch of DLC, I mean, feels like you kind of have to make them a bunch of really obscure characters. But it's what I want. It's all I want.
Yeah, that's the toy box of it all.
Though the one that I was actually very surprised about, and maybe just because I wasn't paying close enough attention, and I already kind of assumed he was in there, we're getting Bardock Super Saiyan. So that's neat.
Was he not already?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I also thought. We're also getting Super 17, which, yeah, that makes sense. And weirdly enough, there's a theme song for this new DLC performed by Mr. Dragon Ball himself, Hironobu Kageyama. So that'll be interesting. I'm very curious.
Mr. Dragon Ball music himself.
He did do a concert. He actually sang the song live during Genki Damatsuri. But honestly, I love Hironobu Kageyama. His live performances, I do not enjoy. So
hot take. Roast him in the comments.
I know.
So
right?
Kaiser, tell me all the things that I missed. Tell me all the things to get excited about.
Well,
let me know what content to look forward to with Dragon Ball.
I don't think I need to tell you as much as I can show you, because before they did the big announcement during the first bit, they actually had oh gosh, hold on, I'm forgetting his name. Dragon Ball. Akio Ioku, which is basically the guy who's running Dragon Ball right now, along with Masuko Nozawa, and you know they went up there and they had a nice little conversation. It was sweet. It's always really nice to see Grandma Dragon Ball. She's always a lot of fun, and the fact that she can still do the Kamehameha all these years it's always a treat. But after a lot of talking, where it kind of just felt like they were going through the same shit over and over, they finally ran this.
Okay.
Before we start, interesting thing, the music here is provided by Hans goddamn Zimmer.
Oh, they threw some money behind this.
Yeah. I don't know why, but I kind of get why.
Bardock.
Yeah, so this was interesting because at first I thought this was going to be an announcement that they were going to animate Minus, which is weird because they essentially already did that with the Broly.
Yeah, they gave you some Minus with the Broly and all that.
Little baby Goku.
He looks 5.
He's supposed to be 3 there, which I still think is too old for the story. I don't like Minus. Everyone knows I don't like Minus. Yeah.
He looks so like he's skipped leg day way too many times.
Yeah, Toriyama's later art style isn't my favorite. I don't hate it, and he does still have some really cool designs in him, but I do not like his later design work. Which I know is
Bye,
it's
Goku.
a controversial take. I will say I liked this part of the movie. I don't like Minus, but they sold this in the movie.
That's pretty.
Yeah.
That's a good looking logo.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. There's some pretty stuff in here. This is some really good CG
I
work.
really like this, yeah.
This gives me goosebumps.
God, that's so pretty.
Yeah, no, this is my favorite part of the entire thing. Oh. Yeah, that is easily
the lean in, yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite. Oh my god. Oh
I
my god.
love this animation style. Holy shit.
Yeah. That's also one of my favorite pieces of Dragon Ball art right there. This is so goddamn cool. Oh, that looks so nice. Just all the classic Dragon Ball art that they're referencing and using for this is so good.
Very pretty.
But wait, one more thing.
Well, we haven't really announced much of anything yet, so I'd hope. Okay. Where are we going now? Ah, they're finally adapting more of the manga.
Yep. Moro of the manga.
Goat Man.
So yeah, we the big reveal for this. I know obviously the animation is positively gorgeous.
Yeah, honestly, I look at that and I'm like, man, I want a 3D like adventure game with that style of like. Can you imagine? Oh shit.
So Chikashi Kubota is the 2D animation director for this one. He did a lot of the 2D animation for Superhero, if you remember that. And honestly, I think if they know what they're doing, I think he's going to be like the lead for this show. In fact, if you look at this last bit here, this makes me think that Kubota
that
is
looks
the
very
guy.
pretty.
Yeah.
Question: the symbol on their chest, does that imply they're being trained by the Galactic Patrol, or are they just deputized?
Deputized.
Ah.
So you haven't seen
They got badges.
Yeah, basically. You haven't read the manga.
No.
It's a whole story that has to do with the Galactic Patrol.
I just know that like whenever they have the like a symbol on their gi or their stuff, it's usually like who's currently training them. Like last time it was Whis.
So the thing that I'm kind of sort of curious about is that calling it the Galactic Patrol, that's an interesting move on their part, because when it comes to that arc, I mean, obviously anybody who hasn't seen it don't know that it's supposed to be about Morrow, that it leads into Morrow. But the fact that they call it the Galactic Patrol makes me wonder, are we going to get the entirety of the story in this anime? Or are we just going to get like the first half, a break, and then the second? Or is it like, I think it'll probably be the whole thing. There's enough chapters for a 24 episode season, so that's likely what they're going to do. But it's, you know, it's also, I suppose, possible that they could break it up into 2 different cores.
Well, I've heard like a bunch of names. Like, obviously, I know most of what's going on with Morrow. I know his deal. I know the forms he takes, and I know that, like, the stuff that kind of leads to his defeats. And I know that the thing that comes after him is like somebody called Gas.
Yeah, there's
which is also sort of Galactic Patrol-y, but more like angelish.
Kind of. There's a whole thing with that as well. I am like, that's generally known as the Granola arc because of a character named Granola.
Okay, that makes sense.
And it's mixed. It's a mixed bag for me.
Is that the one where Black Frieza shows up finally?
That is where
he just shows up, slaps the shit, is like, ha, eat shit, bye.
Yeah, spoilers, I guess, but there a lot of people actually were like, wait, so what about Granola? And it's like, guys, they just announced an entire arc that they have to get through to get to Granola. If they're gonna do Morrow, they're probably gonna do Granola if it's successful.
Yeah, they'll do Morrow after that, and then Morrow, and then Morrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow.
But yeah, so that was their first big announcement, which was really big for a lot of people.
The first big announcement, nice.
Yes, because there's 3 real big announcements here. Besides some small stuff for the video games. Again, although one of them is video game related, which we'll get into next, because it is, to me, while it's awesome that we're finally getting the Morrow arc, it is also like more of a, oh my god, finally kind of thing, where like everyone was waiting for it to happen, but it did sort of start to feel like maybe it wouldn't. And then,
I mean, with like the passing of Akira Toriyama, it's like continuing on after that. Like, naturally they inevitably would, but like how long of a gap of time is like respectful and not like, well, let's just jump straight to it.
Yeah, it is sort of a weird situation where Dragon Ball was always going to continue with...
Yeah, it was always going to outlive its creator.
Which, incredibly sad. You know, it's sort of hard to say. He died younger than a lot of us expected.
Very much so, but it's one of those things like, I've compared it like multiple times to Star Wars, where like Star Wars was always going to outlive George Lucas. George Lucas is still alive, but you kind of already knew that. You know?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like, you create something so great that its shadow goes well beyond your time on Earth.
But the next thing that I have to show you, and we're going to jump from a new anime release to a new video game release. And
new video game.
Yeah. So like I said, in April, they're going to do the big video game showcase and all that. And that's, you know, kind of exciting in its own right, because I'm sure that they have another game that they're planning on announcing at some point. But also everyone's just kind of waiting for more big game updates, you know, what with...
Yeah, Dragon Ball's evergreen for gaming. Like, it can fit so many different genres.
I know a lot of people kind of have mixed opinions on Gekushin Squadra, and I totally get that. Oh, no.
I know you're hard into it.
I am. Look, I can't legally play League anymore, so I'm kind of addicted to Gekushin Squadra. It's not the best MOBA that's ever existed, probably. In fact, the Pokemon one might actually be better. I don't know. Really? I haven't played it. But I am enjoying Gekushin Squadra, and I stay up to date every season. I don't care about Sparking Zero. In that, I'm glad other people are enjoying it. Not a game for me.
Yeah, we haven't touched it.
Yeah. I am hoping for more fighters, obviously, because I'm a big fighters guy, and I cannot believe Xenoverse 2 and Kakarot are still
going, man. Going strong.
Kakarot I can kind of believe, considering it's
newer, but like Xenoverse, like, ooh.
Yeah, no, Xenoverse 2
They just keep going, man.
Yeah, Xenoverse 2 is in the last generation. It looks it. It feels it. At least Kakarot was like, no, PlayStation 5's even better. It looks gorgeous. But here we have the announcement of a brand new Dragon Ball game. And this one instantly got me excited. And I'll tell you why.
Let's take a look. A new journey?
So in Dragon Ball, things are called...
Let it speak for itself.
Oh, I'm giving you some context. All right, fine. Look at this dude.
What up, dude? You from Heroes?
No, actually.
Does he now?
This was a design...
Nice dick.
This was a design from him.
Okay.
Specifically for this game, which has been in development for like 6 to 7 years.
All right. Okay.
Love those mini kicks.
Training complete. At the end of time and space, there will always be Goku. A white-haired Saiyan. Now I've seen everything. So that's like 300 years in the future?
Yes. So for those who might be unfamiliar with the concept, although it seems that you are familiar, age in Dragon Ball is the year. And,
yeah.
Dragon Ball takes place in basically
in the 700s, right?
In the 700s. So this... And now, the reason that this is curious to me, and the moment I saw this character and their design, I was like, okay, is this some kind of Heroes send-up? Because...
It feels like it. It feels very Heroes coded.
But the fact that it was Toriyama, kind of like... The fact that I realized, no, this is a Toriyama design, made me think of something else. Dragon Ball Online.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Online had a bunch of Toriyama designs, story concepts, and was set... in Age 1000.
Okay.
We don't know much about this at all. In fact, as you can see on screen, April 18th to the 19th we're going to get the Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour.
Yeah, we don't know anything about this game. Like, have they talked about like what type of game it is, or okay?
No. What I suspect is that we are going to see the return of Dragon Ball Online. But
you think they're going to do like kind of a, not necessarily like a looter shooter, but sort of like a ever existing world action RPG type game?
At this point, I do think we're going to get something along the lines of, say, Final Fantasy XIV and whatnot, because Dragon Ball Online was only in Asia when it came out. It was actually largely like it saw a lot of business in Korea, but it didn't really take off. I think this is going to be their first real attempt at making not only a game with a story that is set in the future, that is not going to like focus on the main characters, but is going to be another like multiplayer online game. And I don't know. I think who we're seeing here is going to be our the character that we interact with the most, like our story centered.
Or he's just like kind of a stand-in for your character, your OC.
Possibly, although the fact that I guess it's possible that this base design, again, like it's just weird that it would be designed by Toriyama specifically, right? Like you'd think that they'd want to save that for a character that you're going to see more often, but I guess it's possible. It could be the baseline character, but then again, it's a dude, and obviously there's probably going to be a female character that you can make. So
yeah. Obviously, it's a dude, and Toriyama likes male protagonists.
But yeah, we'll have to see. It's curious. It's for somebody I didn't follow Dragon Ball Online very close, but I actually love a lot of its ideas.
I like the idea of it. Like, I mean, it's Bandai, Namco. They own like a lot of different types of like what this genre could be. But I'm imagining something like kind of black deserty, but with more like Dragon Ball flourishes. Like maybe a flight. Like obviously you're gonna need a flight mechanic and stuff like that. But
yeah. Well, we'll have to see. I'm very curious.
Yeah.
But
interesting.
Now, that was our second announcement. The third one here is where things kind of get a little weird.
Oh, let's go. I love weird.
The first one was, oh, thank God, finally. It was like, okay, cool. We've been waiting for this.
The anime continues. We can finally like shut everybody up. It's happening.
The second announcement with the game was like, ooh, something new, mysterious. We don't even know what this game is like. So that's already getting a lot of people talking. It's one of the last things Toriyama worked on. Very exciting. But then, so this one.
Hi, Beerus.
Yeah, this one's curious because the rumors had been going around about this, and honestly, I wasn't buying them, and I guess I should have.
EPCP Beerus.
Uh-huh. This music goes hard.
Mazui. 実にまずいぞ。39年ぶりにあのお方が。宇宙一強い。破壊神ビルス様が目を覚まされている。破壊神ビルス。破壊の神様。地球の諸君、とわにさようなら。このままでは地球はなくなってしまう。僕はね、眠いんだよ。待て！地球が溢れるのにこのままじっとなんかしてられんかよ。破壊神だと？ふざけるのもいい加減にしやがれ！力を見せてやろう。5人の正しい心を持つサイヤ人が手をつないで一人のサイヤ人に心をつなげればその一人はサイヤ人の神になるらしいです。さあ見せてくれスーパーサイヤ人ゴッドの力を。
スーパーサイヤ人ゴッド少なくとも同等の神になったんですよ。
さっくん悟空父さんカカロットこの俺が認めた最強のサイヤ人。続けようぜビルス様。スーパーサイヤ人ゴッドのパワーはまだオラを上に連れてってくれるみてえだからよ。破壊神はね怖いんだよ。
Forgive. Are they what? They're redoing They're redoing Battle of Gods again.
So, okay. The interesting thing about this, I love how it says Super Begins. The interesting thing about this, is that it's not just Battle of Gods.
Okay.
It's all of Super. And they're doing it apparently, and given the name Dragon Ball Super Beerus, it is likely that the future arcs, because like, and again, I've only seen this confirmed through one source that I trust, that they're doing basically the entire show, because the Beerus arc is about to be shortened to 6 episodes.
Smart.
And the Frieza arc, which they're going to do after this, is also going to be shrunk to 6 episodes.
That is, honestly, it'll probably like of all the super movies, Resurrection F I still think stands as the weakest. So maybe they'll actually be able to improve upon it. But that's, I don't know how to feel about that one. Like, obviously, you see a lot of animation that pre-existed that already looked great in Battle of Gods there, but it's mixed in there with like some of that like Dragon Ball superhero style 3D stuff that they've refined over the years that I think looks pretty good. So I'm intrigued. Yeah.
So the interesting thing about this is that it's how do I put this? It's multitudinous in how they're approaching it, because not only are they remastering it, they're touching up a lot of the visuals. They're also reanimating some stuff and animating entirely new stuff, because they've already said that they're going to incorporate stuff that was in the manga, because the manga and the anime are very, very different in a lot of their approaches. They kind of tell similar stories, but if you oh my god, the future Trunks arc is insanely different. Just big changes. So it'll be very curious if we do actually go back to that arc, if we're going to revisit it. I would love for them to incorporate more of the manga
If they can do Goku Black in 6 episodes, I'd tolerate it.
I highly doubt that, and I highly doubt that it would serve the plot for it to be that much shorter.
I don't need them going back and forth in time like a dozen times.
All they need to do is just cut back, going back one time, and change the fucking ending. I'm sorry, that ending still sucks to me. I don't care. It does. But the interesting thing with these changes that they're making, so we just saw that Galactic Patrol was announced, right?
Yeah.
Nozawa herself said during, like, right after they showed that trailer, that this was the first time she'd heard of it. Meaning Galactic Patrol is in pre-production.
Right.
Like, in fact, one of the primary visual things that has been finished is likely that poster we saw. That is likely the only thing so far. So like this coming out like this fall. Dragon Ball Beer is coming out this fall. They probably had Nozawa go back in and record a few things for that. So yes. And what I'm assuming is going to happen is we're going to go back through Dragon Ball Super, and then when we get to the Galactic, and then we're just going to roll right into the Galactic Patrol. I think this is a way to be like, hey, since we're continuing the series, but also the original production schedule for Dragon Ball Super was kind of garbage, and it showed in a lot of the early stuff. How about we go back?
There were a lot of things that were hurt by the pacing of the production, for sure.
Yeah, they're probably like, all right, let's go back in there, let's recut it, animate new stuff, change the story just a little bit, and I'm very curious to see if they'll actually, because I'm curious how much is going to be left, because 6 episodes, cutting it down that much is a lot. It means that we're going to probably lose a lot of story stuff. I don't need that second episode with Goten and Trunks trying to find a present for Videl.
Yeah. You don't need Vegeta and family going on vacation. It was cute and fun, but it makes me laugh that you say, like, cutting it down to 6 episodes, you're losing a lot. I'm like, motherfucker, there was a movie called Battle of Gods, and I think it was very succinct, and it was definitely less than 6 episodes of an anime.
Yeah, no, and that is entirely true. But what I'm hoping for is that we still have a proper connective tissue. I don't want it to be a highlight reel, because that would sort of suck. Battle of Gods was built to be that story. This one was built to be this story.
We live in a day and age where pacing matters a lot. Like, I think some of the, like, One Piece, as magnificent as a story as it tells, its anime has been killed by its pacing a lot of times, which is why I think it's brilliant. Chef's kiss that they are deciding to go with a season structure from this point forward. I think that is going to help it, like, monumentally.
Hopefully.
So with Dragon Ball taking like a similar stance and like going back through and essentially doing like a Dragon Ball Super Kai, I guess is what we can think of it like.
That is actually how it was talked about internally.
Yeah.
Although they were apparently rather nervous to call it that, because it did poorly in Japan. Kai was not very successful in Japan.
But it was still like, it's the best way to watch Dragon Ball Z in my opinion.
I will definitely say, especially if you're
at least up through Cell.
Yeah, if you're looking for a good dub, wholeheartedly, no questions asked, it is the better way to watch Dragon Ball Z. I'm sorry, Kai has a better dub. Now, so all that being said, this is such, like, this will be the fifth time that this story has been told, because we have the manga, we have the movie, then we have we have Dragon Ball Super, and then we also have the director's cut of the movie, which adds like a couple scenes and some connective tissue. So this is the fifth time that this is going to be presented to people, and hopefully, I'm hoping that this will be the best version.
Yeah, but I'm an avid player of like all the Budokai games, so I'm used to having the same story told to me again and again and again. So much to the point that I decided to dedicate like a vast majority of my adult life to making another retelling of it.
I don't know. It's very curious. I'm the biggest thing, and I doubt that they're going to, but the biggest thing that I do hope they change in this version is the approach to Beerus's characterization, because the best Beerus that we ever had was in the original Battle of Gods movie, where he was more just kind of like passive and nonchalant, but
he was very cat-like.
Yeah. I don't like him being more actively evil in Dragon Ball. Like, it felt like they were trying to make him more malicious, more evil in the original Dragon Ball Super series. So I'm hoping that's not the case here. The other thing that I'm wondering about is we're getting obviously all of Dragon Ball Super retold. What about the movies? I don't think they need to do anything with the movies personally, but I'm.
You mean like Broly and Superhero?
Yeah, Broly, Superhero.
Because like those are the only two that haven't had like a redux yet.
Yeah, and it's sort of interesting because Broly did not get a like manga run at all, much like with Frieza. But Superhero did. Superhero actually like retold a bunch of stuff leading up to Superhero. So
do you think they might do something with the Galactic Patrol arc that?
It'll be curious. I doubt that we're going to. I doubt that it's going to cover any of that because it's technically set before it. If I remember correctly, gosh, I can't remember where Granola actually. Well, no, because Granola takes place almost immediately after. We'll have to see. Point being. This is this is wild. This is crazy. Honestly, I can't believe that they're doing this.
We're getting nuts.
Yeah, and I hope it's good. I genuinely hope that the changes that they make are for the better, because this is a monumental undertaking for a series that frankly hasn't been out that long.
That's interesting though. I'll be interested to see how it turns out. Like, it comes out this fall.
Yeah.
Which means they've been working on it for a while. Like, probably while Daima was still rapping.
Possibly. It's hard to say. What we do know, and this is rather funny, part of this already leaked beforehand, and part of that leak was actually Sean Schemmel talking a little bit about it, which I found really funny. People are calling it the Dragon Ball Super Snyder Cut, which it's not. I mean,
Zack Snyder had nothing to do with it. What do you...
Well, rather, it's like the Snyder Cut was much longer. This is much shorter.
Yeah. If anything, this is Dragon Ball Super abridged.
It'll be really curious to see how, like, because again, they're redubbing stuff.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's wild. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't hate it really. I just don't know.
It is weird. It is weird to hear about that and then like see that it's coming out so soon.
Yeah. Honestly, thank God it is. Because if this were coming out any later...
March of 2027. It's like, okay.
Yeah. No, the fact that it's coming out this fall, I think kind of lends credence to it being a lead up to the Galactic Patrol. So, yeah, I'm very curious. I hope it's good. I really do. I want this to be successful. I want this to tell this story the best possible way.
Yeah.
Because it is a story that has, frankly, been inherently flawed in one way or another because of things that it omits, does not have, that it could have covered better. If this is the best version of that, that'll be awesome.
Yeah.
And God knows, oh my God, Frieza needs this so bad. That arc as a movie was already, and then the show version is genuinely one of the worst things Dragon Ball has ever made.
Yeah, so. I still refuse to actually go and like watch the Super version of that.
One of these days I'm gonna make you. I'm gonna sit down. We're gonna watch all of Super. You know what? We should do that leading into this.
Oh God. Ugh.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like, not that I have like horrible memories of Super. It still feels so recent. And yet it's not. It's about 10 years now.
I know. It's so weird. Like, it has been around since just after we started Dragon Ball Z Abridged, honestly.
Super? Nah, it was a while after.
Yeah, I know. It was about maybe 5 years after.
Like, we were into the Cell arc.
Yeah, I suppose we were into Cell by that point. But
Yeah.
still, like, it is crazy that it has been around for so long that there's been an entire series after it.
Yeah, for context, Battle of Gods came out the year we moved to Texas.
Was that 2013?
Yeah, 2014 is like when we fully moved in. But
So-
like, I remember, like, that was the first movie we all saw together at the Alamo.
So Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods came out in 2013 then, because it premiered a year later in America. So Beerus the story started in 2013, and now we're in 2026, and we're gonna get that story
13 years
again.
later. Yep.
Oh man, wild.
Time is crazy.
Time is crazy. But I think really that's all we got to talk about for right now. I'm looking forward to this.
Toward those, all the announcements outside of, like, I know we're getting more like characters in Raging Blast or Sparking Zero. Sorry.
Yeah, Sparking Zero.
See, now I'm chronologically confused.
Yeah. It's that's really all the announcements.
But neither of us have like a huge opinion on that game, as we still haven't sat down to like enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just not into Dragon Ball simulators. It's never been my thing. So
you don't like your toy boxes. I get it. You'd rather sit down and play your Dragon Ball MOBA.
My MOBA. Yeah, honestly, yeah, I kind of rather would.
Of these, I think the thing I'm honestly most excited for is just that idea that, like, I love that animation style that they have going on with some of that, like, intro stuff. I really want to see them utilize that in something, like a special or a game or something. Like, that looks so fucking pretty. But of the things that we actually have announced, I'm most intrigued by the new game, but, like, that's because it has the most mystery behind it. But I'm interested to see all this stuff come out, because I haven't experienced Moro yet. I want to see what their condensed version of Dragon Ball Beerus will be like, so I don't have to, like, sit through the super arc of Beerus, of the Battle of Gods.
It'll be curious. When it comes to the game, I need to know what the game's going to be like, obviously, before I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, obviously we won't hear more about that till April, but that's all really cool.
Yeah.
It's good to, like, keep seeing, like, new Dragon Ball stuff. I love Dragon Ball. It's always been a massive part of, like, it was a massive part of my childhood, and probably a problematic large part of my adulthood. So
you know it's a huge part of my life. It's definitely one of those series where I don't keep up on everything like 100% anymore. I don't have the bandwidth for all that. But when something, I'm always looking for something new that catches my interest from it. I'm always
the 40th anniversary. Like, that's a big landmark. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that it's only 2 years older than me. Oh, really? Maybe a year older than me. I just turned 39. Oh God.
Yeah, it's about 3 years older than me.
But yeah, Dragon Ball, it's cool, and there's more of it now. And
Are you excited for more Dragon Ball?
Yeah, please tell us how you.
No, I'm asking you.
Oh, me? Yeah.
And you at home. Now you answer.
Tell us in the comments. We'd love to hear how you reacted to these announcements.
You saw mine. Show me yours.
Bye.
Bye.